Anyone watching this channel will know I have a thing for DR650s. No, I'm not sponsored by Suzuki. In fact, I probably spend almost as much time criticising certain things as well as loving the old bush pig. Emission laws killed off the DR650 sales in Europe years ago. In 2022, the DR650 will probably be discontinued in Australia as the rules now require automatic braking systems. And there's a good chance it may be discontinued completely from 2022 worldwide due to emission rules. A moto journalist, Zach Kurulik, recently interviewed me about the DR650. Here were my responses.
What was your riding background before you bought your first DR650, and how long ago was that?
This is really straining my memory. Given how long the DR650 has been around, my first experience with the bush pig was quite late, a 2003 model in traditional Suzuki yellow.
Why do you think your early DR650 videos proved so popular?
When our group goes riding, there's a lot of joking around, heaping shit on each other's bikes and riding abilities. I've always wanted the videos to reflect the full experience of what it is to ride a motorbike. So many YouTube channels get hung up on the latest and greatest models, the fastest racing competitors, and the best bling to make you look good. So the DR650 videos reflect that fun side of riding, as well as the joys of riding an old dinosaur like the DR650, and lots of free or cheap tips to make it better. Lots of viewers seem to appreciate that alternative take on our sport.
Although it's an old platform now, is the DR still relevant today, and why? What makes it great, or not so great?
There's no school like the old school. Many see the DR650 as an old-fashioned bike with terrible suspension, a doughy engine, and design faults that date back to 1996. And they are right, but the beauty is that a bit of lipstick on this pig goes a long way. There are free mods that transform the engine and fix most of the known issues. With careful spending, you can transform the suspension and complete the power mods for around $1,000. Anyone who loves wrenching tends to love the DR650. However, anyone who doesn't like wrenching and loves the latest bling and technology will understandably dislike the venerable bush pig.
You spend a lot of time poking fun at other bikes when you make your DR650 videos, but everyone knows the DR isn't more powerful than the latest Euro big bore dirt bikes. What does it do better than those machines?
The DR650 will probably be more reliable. Most bikes are pretty good nowadays, but the DR650 is usually rock solid. If something does go wrong, it's usually easy to fix. For example, a blocked carburetor will be a much quicker fix than a blocked fuel injection system. However, rumour has it that KTM is now offering a free dog with every new bike, so you won't have to walk home alone, which is a very smart marketing move. I'm kidding, of course. Or am I?
You've gone out and bought another DR in the last year. Why buy another one? What are you doing to that one for modifications, or are you leaving it bug stock?
A key theme in my videos is it's 80% the rider, only 20% the bike. I often advise viewers to keep their bike stock at first, then decide what they really need later on. So often we bankrupt ourselves buying a new bike, then spend thousands more in a buying frenzy. I figured I should take my own advice and kept the latest DR650 stock for 4 months. My previous bike was the subject of a video series and had a ridiculous number of mods. This time I'm only doing what needs to be done. The first mod was the suspension, so FFRC Plex valves went into the front forks. These are a phenomenal improvement and great value for money. I am leaving the rear shock stock, but just ramped up the damping and prelay. Gone are my days of getting big air on the bush pig. I I have done the usual engine mods, the BST Magic mods for the carb, which cost nothing, and the usual GSXR exhaust pipe adaptation. I am ridiculously tall, so I have ROX pivoting bar risers and Wurtz foot peg mounts that lower the foot pegs and push them back too. That's about it so far. This time I'm only spending about $1,000 in total, so any other mods are likely to be free or very cheap. For example, I am cutting up a $12 garbage bin to make my own windscreen. I am the last of the big spenders.
Why do you think Suzuki has made the DR unchanged for 25 years now?
A great question, and you will probably regret asking, as I did an entire video about this. I believe all the Japanese brands have become apathetic and conservative when it comes to motorbikes. DR650 is a prime example when each year the biggest innovations are usually bold new graphics and the TUOS system, the same old shit. I suspect there are multiple reasons. First, the big four are massive multinationals and motorbikes are only a tiny fraction of their revenue stream. Second, most of that revenue comes from huge sales of scooters and small bikes, not the expensive bikes for the Western market. Third, since the economic downturn, most Japanese businesses have become very risk averse. And finally, there seems to be a conservatism and apathy in much of Japanese culture today. Honda's CEO even admitted publicly in 2017 that Honda has lost its way. There's no doubt we lost our mojo, our way as an engineering company that made Honda, Honda. Unfortunately, I suspect this is happening across all the brands.